Hi everyone! Today I decided to film one of my own. I'm going to call it a Pilates flow, but it's a little mix of yoga, Pilates, and just a nice gentle stretch with some core exercises. So just follow me. To start with, I'm just coming into a flat back, keeping my legs as straight as possible. Only coming as low as you can while maintaining that straight spine. Walking out to a high plank, I'm just holding that position for about 10 seconds to really engage my core. Pressing back to a downward dog and rolling forwards back to that high plank. Doing this a few times to really lengthen out the back of my legs. And really lifting up through my belly button as I roll up through to that high plank position. Walk back to your feet and then just let your upper body relax as much as you can. Shaking out your head, yes and no. Taking out all the tension from your neck and shoulders. And then just alternating, bending one knee at a time. And I'm just going to move through that one more time. Holding that high plank position. Squeeze your glutes, pushing away with the back of your heels. Making sure your shoulders are on top of your wrists. Adding in a couple of mountain climbers now. Activating those abdominals. And moving through a little bit faster. Walking out to the high plank. Pushing back to the downward dog. Ripple forwards. Mountain climbers. 4 times this time. And back up to standing. Ooh, adjustment. And one more time. All the way forwards. Pressing back, open up the chest. 6 mountain climbers this time. Good, really rounding that upper back, trying to touch your knee and nose together. And then step your right foot between your hands, drop your back knee. And this is a really nice stretch for those hip flexors and your back quad. Remember to slightly tilt your pelvis forward so you're not sticking your butt out behind you. Breathing out as you stretch. And tuck your back toes, coming into a long, low lunge. And then we're opening up the chest, breathing out, looking at that top hand, breathing in as you bring the arm back down. And just doing that a few times. And then change legs, dropping that back knee again. Shoulders on top of your hips. Giving those hip flexors on the other side a nice release. Remember to tilt that pelvis forward. And breathe. And opening up the chest. This one's really nice. Breathing out. And then coming down to a forearm plank. Holding for about 30 seconds. Lifting up through your middle, squeeze your glutes. And actively press your hands down into the mat. With this one, I'm really pushing away with my heels as well, so that I can feel a nice stretch down the back of my legs. And And moving straight through to a side plank on your left. Try not to bring your knees down in between. Again, holding for about 30 seconds. Lifting up as high as you can with those hips. One long line from the fingers down to your shoulder. And then back to that plank position. Again, another 30 seconds. Squeezing your glutes so you don't feel any tension in your lower back. And really pull up those kneecaps. The quads are active in this. And then changing onto the right elbow. Good. Stacking those feet, hips, shoulders. And then aiming for one line from your top fingers down to that bottom elbow. Always trying to lift just half an inch higher with those hips. And then bringing yourself down into a baby cobra. Squeezing your glutes here. And we're going to come into a back extension. Squeezing the elbows in towards your waist. Bending at the knee. Trying to touch the back of your head with your feet, but as you can see, I'm a long way off. That's your aim though. Trying to lift the thighs off the floor as well as the chest. Breathing in as you lift, breathing out as you lower. And actively engage those lats underneath your arms. Squeeze those elbows in tight. And then just pressing back to a child's pose, release your back. Walk those fingers forward. Coming through to a cat and cow. Tucking that pelvis under, really lifting through your middle. I've got quite a flat middle back. As you can see, I'm quite rounded in my upper back, but your aim is to round that middle back as much as you can. Press your hands down into the mat. Good. Now I'm coming into a really good core exercise. You want to lift your opposite arm and leg off the floor, reaching your fingers and your toes in opposite directions, and then curving your spine, trying to touch the elbow and knee together, keeping everything else still. You're going to want to shift your weight over to the right, but you want to try and resist that as much as you can. Breathing out on the way in, breathing out as you extend. And then change. You might have better balance on one side. One side's going to feel a bit more natural. Breathing in, reach those fingers and toes away from each other. Breathing out. And again, try not to shift over to the left this time. Turn yourself around. Make a quick adjustment to your sports bra if you need to. And then lie down, reaching your fingers and toes in opposite directions. You're going to roll up, having a gentle stretch at the top, and then slowly rolling down one vertebra at a time. Breathing in at the bottom, and using that breath to roll up. This is one I particularly struggle with because of that flat back in the middle. I have to really, really concentrate to make sure I'm rolling down one vertebra at a time. Enjoy that stretch at the top. And then take your time as slow as you can, keeping an apple underneath your chin so you're not crunching your neck. Good. And your aim is to try and keep those legs on the floor. You can see mine are wanting to lift up. And on your last one, hold it there. I'm just pulsing to make those abs work even more. Reaching your arms away. Breathing out as you pulse. Shoulders away from your ears. Engaging those lats again. And then rolling all the way down. This one is a stretch and abdominal workout. So I'm pulsing, breathing out for 2 and then changing. Pulsing for 2 and then change. If you can, keeping the bottom leg off the floor just a couple of inches. And then if you want to get a deeper hamstring stretch, then straighten both those legs, pointing through the feet. Trying to lift the shoulders off the floor. And then catching that last one, extending both legs. Holding behind your hamstring or maybe your calf if you have that flexibility. Wherever you get to though, make sure you have both legs straight. Even if you only get those legs to 90 degrees. And make sure you're breathing here. And coming into another good abdominal exercise. I'm keeping my hands behind my head, but if you need a little bit of support for your back, you can always have your hands underneath your bum so you can keep that spine on the mat. Only taking the legs as low as you can before you feel any pressure in your back. If you feel it in your back you've gone too low, it's better to build up to it slowly. Those abs will still work super hard. And again, trying to keep a little gap underneath your chin. Holding this last one. Keep breathing, keep pressing that spine towards the mat. And then relaxed. Have a roll side to side, just release your back. This is a really nice massage. And then bending the legs, knees on top of each other, looking the opposite way. Trying to keep that shoulder, both shoulders on the floor. Now I'm just starting to roll up and down. Keeping my hands on the back of my legs so I have a little bit more support. Extending the arms if you want to make it more challenging. Make sure you're breathing. Extend those legs just to make it more challenging for your lower abdominals. If you feel a little shake in your quads, that's normal. Catching that last one. You can keep your legs in tabletop position or go for alternating leg extensions, maybe double. Trying to sit up as high as you can. Next, I'm coming into plow pose. This is a really common yoga pose, but it's quite challenging. So if you want to just lie on your back and give your knees a little hug into the chest, there's that option. Coming out of plow pose as slowly as you can, rolling down through the spine, and then slowly lower the legs down to the floor. And then make your way up to a seated position. Letting your neck and shoulders relax. Taking all the tension out of the back of the legs. Don't point your feet, don't flex the feet, just let everything relax. Should have worn a better sports bra. And then coming into a gentle twist. Hugging the knee in towards your chest and really lifting up out of your waist as you twist. Coming into a forward fold. You're aiming to keep that knee on the floor. And flexing that foot as much as you can. Breathing in, stretching forwards, and then breathing out, relax. And change. And again, reaching forwards, trying to keep a straight spine as you breathe in, and then folding forwards as you breathe out. Lengthening that chest forwards towards your feet. Last one, just let everything relax. To finish off, coming into a wide second position, reaching up and over to the side. A little work for those obliques, but also a nice stretch. And then take that top hand behind you, opening up the chest. Trying to keep both sit bones on the floor. And then change. Reaching up and over. Don't dump into that waist. You're trying to lift up as much as you can. Reaching that top arm back. And then come back through to center. Keeping a straight spine. Coming down as low as you can. So even if it's just the fingertips on the floor, that's fine. Nice deep breaths. And then I'm just going to try and increase that stretch. Breathing in, push yourself forward just half an inch, and then breathing out as you lower the hips down. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, relax. Flexing the feet as you stretch. You might not even move that far. And once you're in your widest second position, reach those arms up. Lifting forwards, not down. If you're mega flexy, you might get your chest all the way down to the floor. Not me. It's more important to keep that lovely straight spine. Dropping those shoulders away from your ears. And that is finished. That is it. Rolling up slowly through the spine, keeping a little bend in those legs. Reset, rolling those shoulders back. And then, you can't see, but lifting up out of your waist, take hold of your left wrist, and then leaning over to the right. Squeezing your glutes. Taking hold of the other wrist. Gentle side bend. And then one last back bend. Squeezing your glutes, lifting that chest up. And then fold forward, shaking out the legs, shaking out any tension in your neck. And rolling up. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a cheeky thumbs up and leave any feedback below.